Welcome to the scene, it's your host TTP. We're flying high in the crypto sky, you and me. From Bitcoin rush to Ethereum, we traded all the coins with the trading parity, making that joyful noise. We got bots, we got plots, charts on the big screen. 3 comments to Wick, Hunter with a trading machine. Laughing all the way to the bank, it's a fun parade. With every trade we made, watch how we get paid. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with the vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light, trying to trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts, the RSI, liquidity at a glance, trends on the rise. We never leave it up to chance. All trading Ganium, tools of the champion breed. With AI and math, we're planting the money seed. Laugh with us, trade with us, ain't no looking back. You're with the parrot now, leading the pack. Alpha profits, snap plus with the crypto law. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's on the mic and he's ready to soar. TTP's got the formula, flipping coins like a spatula. In the crypto game with a vernacular, spectacular. From the morning to the night, we're streaming with the light. Join the trading parallel. We'll teach you how to fight. Dive into the charts.
Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I had a long weekend. We have bank holidays here in UK, so I managed to enjoy. Sorry, yesterday I didn't publish any video. Luckily for me, there was not much going on really. I was expecting 64 to become a pain, and actually it was a pain. We went to 66 and we got a big rejection back below 64. We might be still struggling with 64 for a while. I don't know for how long, but it looks like a big level, since there's the point of control, there's the volume there, there's the CPR pivot. So we got some work to do with that 64 if we want to get above it. Yes, we have a breakout on the daily, and that is one of the last things that I'm seeing really strong for a potential upside. And don't get me wrong, that breakout on the daily looks really bullish. But if we want to continue this upside from the breakout that we have on the daily, that 4-hour cannot stop us. And at the moment, we are struggling with the 4-hour, and I'm going to show you all those charts. I'm going to show you how things are looking, and today I have action-packed, full of things that I have new, since I have one day to prepare more material. I'm going to show you the liquidity from macro, how it's looking good from certain aspects. From some other aspects, it's not looking as good. And on the 2-month, we have a very scary candle that I want to cover. I want to give you my cut on that, because it's also, doing multiple time frames and analysis on all the different monthly, 2-month, 3-month, 4-month. Sometimes I find it's a little bit silly. I'm going to cover the CME gap, what happened in the past day. I'll give you an update on that, liquidity, and everything. Let me see. There's one level below the price in the order book that is extremely sneaky, and is telling me something that could happen. And it's going to, if it ends up playing out, everybody's going to grab their heads and think, what the hell is going on? But if it plays out, this level is packed with 1.2K, and it's almost the only thing in the order book. So we have to look at that, and we have to do an analysis. Is it really feasible that we go that low? We'll see later in the video if that's the case. We're going to cover all of that. And if that wasn't enough today, I have prepared lots of analysis with altcoins. I'll cover a big group of them and the best performing altcoins today. We need to cover the Bitcoin dominance that we closed the candle already on Sunday, but still today we are in the area of the breakout, and that is going to have big implications for the alts and for the performance of Bitcoin. So without further ado, let's get started. In the meantime, while I prepare sharing the screen, make sure, guys, that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell, and make as much noise as you can throughout the whole stream, okay? Write down the coins that you want, ask me questions. I'm going to go through all of them, cherry pick whichever coin you want me to review, and we'll do it mostly to the end of the stream. As you can see, the market currently is cherry picking some good performing coins, and many others are in the red. And this is a consequence of where the Bitcoin dominance is. The Bitcoin dominance, it's holding the 54, it's going higher, and that is threatening to do a higher high on the Bitcoin dominance, potentially going to 57. If something like that happens, the alts are going to suffer. That's why some alts are performing really great, but the vast majority, as you can see, are in the red. They are waiting for the king to make the next move. Let's look at the monthly. So reminder, we had an engulfing bearish candle in April. We are in May, and we have now the job of May is to hold these levels and not to fall below the low of April, because that's going to confirm that there's going to be a bloodbath. Let's call it, well, it's a bloodbath for newcomers into crypto. If you've been for one or two cycles, is the typical thing that happens, right? And that could take us to 48, to 51. There are some key levels that I've been mentioning repeatedly in every single stream. We can go through them again, but May is looking green so far. We are 4%. And this is updated once a day in the website Look into Bitcoin. But it's interesting. We're seeing a May that we were supposed to run away, and actually is 4%. Whether May is going to be able to hold there, we will have to see. And the fear and greed index made that lower low. It made my dream come true. I always wanted a flash of fear, hopefully to get into lower levels of fear, below 50, below 40. That will be really amazing. And we got a 43. So I consider that out of the way. It's great. We could still do a little bit lower. Okay, so if we go for that liquidity at 55K, probably the fear is going to go maybe to the higher 30s, just for another flash additional. But the liquidity in the Bank of China, that is extremely important. If you've never seen this chart from me, it's almost like cheating, okay? If they're printing money in China, since it's such a huge economy, then we start seeing Bitcoin running. Sometimes you see divergence, but the divergence never lasts very long. In this case, we've been going lower and price has been going higher, and that was taking us down. But now there's a breakout in the liquidity from China. So we'll see that. And at the same time, the Fed, the liabilities of the balance sheet is currently breaking lower, meaning that they're selling, meaning that they're reducing their liabilities. And that is something that tends to be bearish. Every time that they are selling like this, we have a bear market. Every time that we go higher, all markets go higher. Everybody tends to mimic what the Fed are doing. And of course, they have important information, and we need to monitor what they're doing if we want to do as well as they are supposedly doing. And here's the most bullish thing that I see. So if you want something to make you feel good, this breakout from the daily is magnificent. After so many touches, including here, there was a fake out. We are finally seeing a breakout. We are facing the 56 that is resistance coming from this white trend line, and we were very close to it. Actually, I don't remember. I think on Sunday we were about to touch 52 and then got rejected, came back down. And one of the things that is showing me on the daily that there might be continuation is this form inverse head and shoulders. That's typically a bullish pattern. I don't know if you can see it. I don't expect to see the perfect pattern, but what I want is, some shoulders, not the same size, and head. And I see it there. So this if it broke out from here, then it will have this high. So from 50 to 33, so that is 17 to the upside. So that could get us from 50 to 67. 67, let's do a rough calculation here with the reverse RSI that I already have many levels from before. Let's do it with 67. So if if that is playing out, we could go to 72.8. That's almost 73. It corresponds with this area here where we got sold out. So that will take a lot of liquidity. We are going to see how much liquidity is there in between where we are and all this range there. There's loads of liquidity. There's almost like 10 billion to the upside. Of course, that needs to break out. And at the moment, we are being rejected by 64. Let's now turn the page and let's look at the other side of things. Can this be a painful resistance? Could this actually play out the opposite and end up sending us to lower lows? Yes, we have a breakout here before, and we say we need to keep paying attention to the breakouts. Although this one is much bigger, anything can happen. This can still push you back down here. Of course, after a breakout of this size, you will expect continuation, and you will expect people getting shaken out from here and then continuing the upside. That's the biggest likelihood. The biggest likelihood from this pattern, just looking at the daily, is continuation now to the upside. But of course, that needs to fight against the 4-hour and also what I'm seeing in the 2-month and on the weekly. We're going to cover that later, and we're going to do an analysis really of what could play out. Because if the 4-hour pushes down, it could just take us to 43 maybe. And at 43, we will say, okay, this is just a larger shoulder. It's a retest of this trend line, and we could still continue to the upside. So let's say we go to 43. And that, I'm also interested to see what could happen if we go to 43. Let's put it in red. 43. So let's say we go to 61 and we wipe those levels that enter late longs that enter here with this breakout. We put them out of the way. And if this bounces from there, from 61, we got a perfect narrative to say, okay, higher highs now breakout, full breakout from there. That could be a decent outcome. In fact, I like that idea. So if things continue bullish, that could be the way to stay bullish, and at the same time to please that 4-hour that now is begging for a pullback just because it got a huge rejection from 66. So let's see the 4-hour. 4-hour is looking like this. I still have the drawings of my forecast on the 4-hour from the video. This video was done on Sunday, I think. That was my update using my iPad. I remember I did. And I was saying we can go higher still, but we have lost momentum. If we go very bullish, if I remember right what I say, we could even hit here or even there, but we are still on this side of the line. So we have lost a slice of momentum to the upside, and we have to keep that in mind. In fact, all we did was this high and that high. We didn't even go that high. And we are now doing a lower low on the RSI while the price is just going sideways. So that means that, yeah, it goes sideways and it went to 66. There's a wick there, but the RSI is constantly going lower. So the price is really having to fight a lot to hold at these levels without having that pullback. And look at how it's behaving. It struggled so many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles, and then it broke out. It grabbed liquidity from late longs and it came to punish them, and now it's having another rejection there at 64. So this is a lot of struggle, I will say. I will expect that to come back down and come to the lower 60s, 60, 61, somewhere there. If we are going to do now a higher low and then continue to the upside, that could be the way to do that. Of course, we can still go lower. I'll show you that the liquidity that is still left there at 55, that could also happen. So on the weekly, we went home here for a very short lapse of time. This candle that is looking so small there, so naive, pointing up slightly. At some point, it was very close to here. So I consider we went home, but still we keep pointing towards that level. So in the weekly, the momentum is also fighting against the RSI weekly to go higher at the moment. Yes, it can do a push like this. I expect that to happen, but still a lower low in that sense. So this move there to 76 can send the price extremely high, but still in a context of losing momentum and pointing towards this final target that we have set since 2-3 months ago. And in terms of the weekly price action, yes, it looks really bullish. So you have all these hanging mans here that everybody has been noticing, and there's no YouTube channel that hasn't covered these weekly candles, this pattern that is bullish for continuation. So the thing is, when everybody notices something, I tend to have like two steps behind and look and scratch my head. And just because I've seen so many times the pattern of the anti pattern, seeing something always playing out, everybody talking about it, everybody telling, hey, mate, it has always worked. It's going to work just the same once again. And then you look at this, and after a few months, if this goes this way, everybody goes silent and says, oh, yeah, it's a pattern that play out many times. And at some point, it stopped playing out. So just keep that alternative in the back of your head and don't just jump because someone tells you that something works 6 times. That's not that doesn't mean it's going to work forever. It's just silly to think that way. And on the 2 month, I've been shown by one of you guys. One of you guys showed me this 2 month candle. I think it was in one of the last streams. And yes, it looks extremely bearish, and the price is wanting to go higher, but it's got a lot of job to do to be able to overcome the bearishness of this candle here. This red candle inversed week here is really looking ugly, and I will say we must go somewhere here lower to respect it just by looking at that. But I'm going to show you something to actually push back on this idea. If we go to the 3 month, because people are picking any time frame. If you go to the 3 month, I wouldn't say necessarily that this looks bad on the 3 month. So if you start picking random time frames and you start doing analysis, you're just going to go crazy. You can go then with the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and keep repeating the analysis. And eventually you're going to find that you have 3 time frames that tell you buy and 4 that tell you sell, and you won't know what to do. So I tend to stick to a group of time frames: monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour. And that's how I do my trading. If someone comes to me with a 2 month and they find something else, oh yes, extremely interesting, yeah, but I cannot make my decisions on all time frames. This is impossible. The 3 month looks fine. This could be a pullback and then it could continue. And the same here. That can then look really ugly at the end of the bull market in 2021, sure. And then after that, it sold all of that in 2 months. Incredible. But right now, the 3 month looks bullish. The 2 month looks ugly as hell. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll keep it there. Right now on the weekly, at the same time, we are challenging the highest close from the previous bull market. That is our resistance. And this is another way of seeing the weekly as something bearish, because we lost it. We went below. We tested once. We have this candle that is very bullish. But right after that bullish candle, we went for it once again, and we are currently failing. We are early in the week. This could end really positive, but keep in mind that our first attempt during this week to get above 65, the highest close, was failed. So we'll see. And on the CME gap from this weekend, I pay attention. I actually trade this one. I sold here and I decided to rebuy at 62.8. My whole holding. I took a big risk. I said, okay, I'm just gonna have fun, and I let it ride high. And then I knew that there was the CME gap. I sold it at 64 point something, and then I rebought it at 62.8 when it came back down. So I made a 2% additional if in one day. That's not bad. That's not bad. But unfortunately, most of the CME gap is gone. It depends how you draw it. There are different tools and there are different interpretations for the CME gap. Some people just look at the actual gap on the 1 hour. People do different time frames. In this other time frame, is showing you just the opening and closing price throughout the weekend, and showing you in red all that area. So from that perspective, there's still something left that spans to 62.5. So you could still guess that we are going to fill that, but I didn't use that one. I used 62.8 as my rebuy area. And let's start with the liquidity. So to the upside, we start with liquidity from 65. We have that thin level there, and it's a thick level here on the higher end towards 70K. That's very important. But below here, we also have lows of liquidity up until 59.5. So that's the argument that I was mentioning for the price to have this pullback here, come back at 59.5. Sorry, at 61, and take these levels on the lower 60s. Uh, in terms of liquidity from the past month, many people are talking about the 67 and the 72. Those are the highest levels of liquidity in the past 30 days. If we go all the way to 72, we can see that there's 10 billion point two. And if we go to the lower end, we have 5.5. So there's less to the downside, but there is a concentration here towards the lower end of the 60s. Again, so another point towards liquidity on that area. And let's see how we are doing with the NVT signal. If you missed this information, I'm going to repeat it once again. It's very bullish to be crossing below this green line of the NVT. That's very oversold in terms of network value transaction, and crossing above it is really bullish. So that happened at 64. So 64 is above it and 58 is below it. So that was the cross. Consider yourself informed for the next time that we cross that. It doesn't happen very often, and most of the times it happens is quite bullish. And leverage squeeze did amazing. It did a higher of 12.4, which is not bad at all as a signal. People were asking, where can I get this signal? The signal is very rare, but when it happens, it has a very high win ratio, and it gives a high risk reward. So if you put your stop loss somewhere close to the entry, you will have placed it with a 3.7, and then you will have got a 12% to the upside. And this one is included with observer tier. You get a trial if you want to see it for a bit on your trading view. I'm using it on the 4 hour, and I'm currently mostly using the signal 2. You get two different versions of the signal. You got the original one that is currently showing a sell, and you got these ones that are more rare, the LS2, that at the same time are very accurate. And we're now coming to the level I told you that we need to keep an eye. What the hell is going on with 52? Another sneaky level. I remember we had something like this at 69. At some point, we were really far from 69, and there was a level at 69, and we went to 69. So could it be once again that they're playing the same game, but the opposite? We're seeing some rejection here on the VWAP weekly. We are below it, so that's a downtrend. It, that doesn't mean we cannot go above it, but at the moment it's being in a state of rejection. And look at relative to this volume, to this 1.2, why there's nothing there. Like you have to really put this lower and lower and lower to start seeing some levels. Anything relatively big, not really. This was 500 and it's gone. This level here was 400 and it's gone. So what are they expecting? The price to dump from 64 to 52. That's a big movement. At the same time, on the higher end, there's no selling. The selling left a few hours ago. Again, really crazy what's going on. Maybe there's some news. I haven't checked the news, to be fully honest with you. If there's anything in the news that could cause both the shorts and the longs to leave today, let me know in the comments, because totally honest, I don't know. And you can see that the 66 level to sell here is also getting thinner from 31 million now to 25 million. And below it, there's no much support apart from 55K. That's on the monthly. Let's see the 6 months. And you can see that there's some accumulation there at 66 that is wanting to sell from 66, and nothing relatively similar below it. So it's larger, that selling pressure there. And in terms of what the whales are doing, you can see that the largest whales are almost the only ones that have been buying this move. The 1 million to 10 million going up and up and up and up and up and up, and now reaching the top. All the other ones seem to be in a selling mode here. Let's see. This is pointing down. I mean, it's going sideways, we could say. And liquidity to 55 and 56, there's plenty. I've been repeating that for more than a week. And we are now in between the sandwich of whether we go for the higher end or for what we left undone here. And I remember I talked about this. I mentioned it on Twitter, and so people were saying, yeah, you were wrong because we went to 65. Well, this kind of things can happen. It can go higher and leave this liquidity there. That still doesn't remove the fact that this could fail and still take it. But at the moment, this price action that I'm seeing there, it looks quite bullish on the daily. So you can see the shoulder, the inverse head, and then other shoulder. So there's a recipe for this to go and take the 72, the higher end, thanks to that pattern. But if the 64 doesn't allow that to happen and it breaks below the right shoulder and we lose that level, which is 63, then there you go. We have the perfect recipe for breaking that pattern and going for that liquidity that we left there. The delta is not very fat, is 339. Meaning that the longs are in higher risk at the moment. So that could be an incentive for market maker to push it lower and grab this. How low is it going to go with this? We don't know because it's so thin. The incentive is not that big to fall so big, to fall so a big move, but it's enough to say, well, there's liquidity right there. Why not taking it? And before we go and cover the alts, I remind you that if you want to support the channel, have a look at the description. I have 2 exchanges that are sponsoring the channel, OKX and BingX. And BingX offers friendly KYC exchange with support for perpetuals, and OKX has bots, and both of them have big pools and rewards. OKX 60,000 and 6,000 with BingX. And for more than 2 weeks, we've been in the altcoin season 39. I don't know why we are just going for so long sideways. Sometimes it happens, as you can see around these areas there, when there's indecision. And I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised at the same time, because seeing the Bitcoin dominance just fooling around with going higher, then getting sold out, testing support, testing resistance, testing support. We're going to see the chart just in a minute, and it explains why these alts are performing Bitcoin and these other ones are underperforming, and Bitcoin is just stuck right there in that level of 39%. Is very uh, clear to me. And the RSI heat map on the 4 hour was showing quite a lot of coins that are getting into the oversold area, some in the strong area, and the vast majority are just in the neutral. Very little ones are in the weak. So this is not necessarily an opportunity. It means that many altcoins already have a big run, and after that run they're just cooling down, not going into bearish, but nothing really happening. I'm going to show you the alts, the ones that are stronger, the ones that are weaker. We're going to cover today the ones that are in the top alt rank from lunar crash. Look at the Bitcoin dominance. It's holding the support. It broke out. It went to 57 and testing support, and not falling below it. So the week currently is in progress and we are above the support. This is the perfect recipe for this Bitcoin dominance now to prove that it can do a higher high. That higher high might come with a pump from Bitcoin or might come with a dump. In either impulsive move, you are going to see the Bitcoin dominance increasing substantially. And that's why we see this altcoins being in the red. Now, for the day, we're starting to see a bit more in the green. So I'm going to start to rush to see what's going on with the rest of the altcoins. So here's the top of the cryptocurrencies sort by alt rank. This is a measure not just of performance from the percentage move of the price, but also due to the social. So XRP being at the top one alt rank, it means that a lot of people are talking about it. At the same time, is doing well against the other altcoins. We have Wild as well. So have a look at this list. If I'm missing any of these coins here that you really want me to do some TA, I'm happy to review them. So as I say, I have them all sorted by strong, and I have left here another list with the ones that are weak, and that can change anytime. But at the time in the morning I was reviewing this, I saw many of them that were uh, underperforming the rest of the altcoins. So it's relative to the strong ones. And Trello is here. Let's see. This did a move of 182 in a few days, and that's why it made it to the top alt rank. And let's see if we can do some analysis on this. I think if I focus just on the RSI, this will explain things. So you can see that we were for a long time in accumulation, and then it had a breakout right there. It entered for a bit into the Crosby ratio, which is really bullish. It did it again in there and in here. Both areas were really great opportunities. And by the way, I released today this new indicator called oscillator linear regression breakouts. And you can see it here automatically telling you that this was a breakout on the 2nd of May. So on the 2nd of May, what were we doing? Well, we were having this breakout there. And this one is included in the VIP subscription, by the way. And I'm going to put out a video later today with how to use it and everything. And there will be a giveaway of VIP subscription. So if you're interested to test it, you can go watch that video and write down the comment and the things. I will leave the instructions. And there's a coin that's performing incredibly well today. At the moment, it's at a price of 25. It's called Pork. I assume that this is a meme coin. It's got resistance here at 33 and support at 17. It's very difficult to do TA with these newly listed coins. You can only look at price action, which is not a problem I can do, but I prefer sometimes to have also the view of what's going on with the momentum. And the cross-V ratio is not in a great position here. So I wouldn't buy this. This is in an area of shorting. When you get into this band there, it's very dangerous. But I'm not sure if the cross-V ratio uh, is it has enough data to really conclude that this is a top, because this was listed on 23rd of February. So it might be also wrong information. CAS is also appearing in the top alt rank, and at the moment is having a daily breakout. So if it closes the daily above the level 44 in the RSI daily, it might have a very, very nice run, just because you see the similarity with this breakout that happened around here. I'm not going to do it perfect. It's difficult to match it. Maybe like this, something like that. And you can see there was a breakout there. There was some sort of fake out, but at the same time, this was the area to accumulate. And this around here might do the same. So it might do something like this, then come back here, do like that, and then eventually push higher. Let's save this and let's see later in a month's time whether we got that. And render as well is appearing in the alt rank, in the top levels, but it already had the breakout. In fact, we spot the breakout. We talk about the breakout until here, and it did a higher low, and that is pushing it higher into the 67 on the other side. I'm just showing you this one. I wouldn't say short it or long it. And let's see if there's some resistance upcoming. At the moment is breaking this resistance. This was support for many, many days in here. Also in there was resistance, and at the moment we are above that resistance. And the next massive, massive target is 13, of course, but if you want something more conservative, I will say 12. If this continues running, it could get easily to 12. But on the daily, I would like to see it holding above this. We see a lot of coins that get to the resistance, they go above it, and then they retrace it, and they just leave a wick up outside, and that's the recipe to start pulling back into the previous area of support. You're going to see that many coins I'm going to show you now, they have a bearish pattern on the left-hand side of the chart. And then around here, you're going to see either a W, so double bottom formation, with a breakout about to start, or a breakout that is already in progress. It is already in progress towards the final target. Or you're going to see a higher low. Both of those patterns in my list of strong are looking really bullish, and are telling me that there could be more continuation with them, and it could reverse. In fact, for example, this bearish pattern that is a head and shoulders, with this move of render, got invalidated thanks to the double bottom breakout from the neckline. So pay attention to the next coins. I'm gonna try to go as quick as I can, but there are many that are doing the same. Solana, for example, you can see is right below that resistance. So it hasn't broken out at 157, but if it breaks 157, it could repeat what we were seeing with render. So it could go to 172. So, but it needs to break out. So wait for the confirmation. On the momentum, you have it on your side on Solana. So it's pointing up, it's facing the median right there. You can see that my indicator is almost entering the area of triggering as well the automated breakout signal. That is also happening there. And Pepe, let's have a quick look at what's going on here with Pepe. Is facing resistance there at 896, but it's doing higher highs and higher lows. It's way above the support, so it's also looking strong. It finally broke above this resistance from the trend line, downward sloping, and is continuing. So the next level, if it broke even higher than that, I will look into 1000. So that is next target if things continue bullish. WIF is doing something very similar, also looking strong. R is below this resistance, this double top. You can see R is very strong relative to the rest of the altcoins, even more bullish than what Render did, because Render hasn't managed to get to this top yet. It hasn't got here, so it's halfway through there. Uh, whereas R, it already did it, and as soon as it got to my level, it got sold out. It went to 42. People put the selling orders there, and now it's at 39.9. And Shiv is also looking strong. And although it lost the support, it went there. And we could say it's strong, but it's not as strong as the rest of the coin at this point in time, which is something not necessarily bad, because if we get a good run in the old coins, uh, the ones that haven't run, that are still in the group of strong, could continue and could give you better entry that if you start chasing something like R. R went already to this level, getting sold out. Yes, it can continue, but it has already run a lot. So I wouldn't bet on the ones that are running so much already. Gala is looking strong as well, is above the support. AVAX at the moment being rejected by this resistance at 39. Let's see if we can extend this. Let's correct it a bit. So it's above support. The breakout is there. It's already being rejected by the first resistance, but that doesn't mean necessarily it's going to come down. The next level of resistance is 44. Near has shown quite a lot of strength. There's just one more step in the stairs to get to 9, and that will mimic what the most bullish ones have done. Fed is in the process of breaking out from this W pattern. Can you see? So you have bearish pattern there, and then you have bullish pattern. So you have a double bottom and facing the resistance. So this is preparing for a breakout from the level of 245. And so keep monitoring this one. This is a good peak for a potential breakout to levels of 2.6, or if you are more bullish, 3.3. Theta, again, is getting closer to completing the double bottom, not yet fully formed. So I still put it in the strong. You're going to see when I show you the weakest one that, relative to this, they look really bad. So with AGIX as well, you have a W ready to continue once it breaks out. XRP as well, but it's now holding at 53. It got rejected at 56. If it breaks this 56, it could run to 62. Uni, I put Uni in the strong just because we broke below this support that we have held for quite a while. We broke below it and we kind of faked out. And we are in the process of building now this double bottom from this huge drop here. So my question is, if we finish forming this W bottom, could we make a massive run to $12? Potentially, because the faster you fell here, this could also come back as fast as that. So I'm just going to save this. And I'm going to save this pattern here, my messy drawings, the W, the breakout, and I have a resistance look from this market here at 9.4. So this could do something like this and then reach 12. Of course, the conditions of the market need to allow for that. It's not like magically a coin is going to start gaining value. People are going to enter in these coins if things look good for the altcoins. So keep in mind what's going on with that dominance. If it starts pushing higher, don't be in the market on these things, because they're going to get punished. Some of them are going to survive a Bitcoin dominance getting to 57 or 58, but the vast majority won't. So it's your bet if you are against that playing against you. And look at ADA. You see, compare this chart with the rest of the charts that I show you. ADA is forming a double bottom, sure, but it's at the lower end. It's at the bottom still, and is struggling to go away from that. And I hate to say that because I bought a heck of a lot of ADA, not a lot, but I entered with a position, and it's quite getting me itchy because I cannot close it. Just ADA is acting like crap. And fundamentals, people tell me, yeah, fantastic. I'm not an expert in fundamentals, but from the technicals, this looks ugly. It's like looking ready for another push lower because it's not being able to mimic what the rest of the market is doing, or at least the bullish coins are doing. And I told you TRX was looking extremely bullish, but I told you if Bitcoin dominance holds by Sunday, what are we going to see with TRX? A rejection. So this inverse head and shoulders right now is at the risk of invalidating, because if it goes lower than this shoulder, which is located at 11, it's going to start looking like the pattern is messed up and it's no longer going to look bullish. We could see something like this, and yeah, people are going to say, yeah, that's fine, that's my head and that's my shoulder, and people are still going to think it's bullish. But if it goes like this, no, then it's gone, the bullishness. And Dodge is not very clear to me how bullish it is. You could change the time frame maybe to the 8 hour, let's see, 4 hour. Uh, I mean, I'm trying to find an excuse to see the bullishness of this, and the only thing I see bullish is this liquidity grab here. You have volume, you have a range, and you are entering this area here. So that, yeah, that's bullish. That's saying that we are aiming for 18, 0.18 on Dodge. Yeah, that's doable, but I don't see a clear pattern, as clear as what I see with the rest of the coins. So have a look at the list of the weak coins. I guess I'm gonna bore you if I go through every single very weak coin, and I'm gonna go through the comments next. Thanks so much for so many comments, guys. That's really helpful for the channel. Let's see. What comment I'm gonna do next? Hello, good morning. Hello, everyone. Please review Teller. I did review Teller. That was the first one I reviewed, so I hope you saw it. If not, just go backwards in the video. I'm late joining. Can I play from the beginning? Will this be published later? Yeah, of course you can. This is a live stream, but you can watch it later. You can even watch it with the comments from people, as long as you watch it on YouTube. I'm not sure if you can do that on Twitter. You can even now play from the start. Yeah, sure. I am 20x long open on 64.7. 20x long open. Oy, ouch. I am quite, yeah. Can we bounce back to 65? Yes, but we need to challenge 64, and we need to stay above it. Not just in the 4 hour, possibly on the daily. On the 4 hour, we already went above 64 and we lost it. I say 64 is gonna give us a headache. I hope next time I'm right. I'm not giving you financial advice, but I hope next time you watch the video to be informed with my fears, which are tend to have decent win rate. At least I want to believe. Maybe the news about Robinhood. Yeah, maybe. I guess you are meaning that the news about Robinhood might be spooking out the investors from the order book that I was showing you earlier. That was very thin. It looked like everybody ran away. What do you think about Master? It seems like it's a leveraged version of BTC with more upside potential. Interested in your feeling rather than TA. Uh, I'm not familiar with what is Master. Damien, can you explain what is that? I'm not familiar with the ticker. Maybe I'm gonna have to Google it. But if you can tell me what it is about in a comment, I will catch it up later when I keep scrolling down in the comments. And by the way, here's the comment if people want to see it. Let's change this like that. And let's continue with the comments. Can you review ARV and AVAX as long-term hodl opportunities? Okay, let's have a look at, I think I covered some of them. Where is ARV? Do I have it in my list? No, I don't have it. Let's go back to the chart. Let me hide this. Let's go full screen and let's hide this too so you can see. ARV first. I find very frequent that people ask for TA on ARV. I guess it's AI coin. So how is it looking? This is a big area of support since it's been listed on Binance. 1106 is support, and we got resistance at 133, and then at this is around. I'm gonna look always when you're looking for support and resistance, don't focus just on this area. Try to match it with a previous performance. So I was tempted to put it here, but once I look at the chart on the left hand side, I see that significant level, and that one now is giving me more confidence. So that's 171. It will never be perfect. Not all resistance and support levels end up playing out, even if they match with a lot of prices. Sometimes they just cut like butter, but it gives you an edge, and most of the times, and that's the whole point. 2.25 is another level of resistance. Let's look at this chart. So I will be tempted to do this, and I will probably leave it there and I will call it a global resistance, just because if I try to do it like that, then I get this fake out there. So the next thing I do is I grab that one and I put it here and I call it a local level. And I don't get many touches with the exception of this one. So here I get 2 touches. Here I get 1. Here I get kind of 2 maybe. So I'm gonna leave it like that. It's not a great quality breakout, but it's currently having a breakout. It's very difficult to see it in the price. Even if we focus here, there's nothing really going on. For people trading price, there's nothing. You have the fake out there, and then you have this movement there. So this looks like a breakout even for price. I was wrong. So it is a breakout on the price. There's quite a lot of concerning wicks there. So could that become another one of these? Possibly. It depends as well. On the long term, we have this kind of McDonald thing there that made it really bearish after this impulsive move. So it's in a time of accumulation. How long that's going to last, I don't know. But 179 is really big level. You can see here the most of the volume was at 179. So for holding long term, I won't give you any fundamentals. I have no clue why this could be good. If it's an AI coin and you see Nvidia pumping and doing well, all AI coins, I have the feeling that they're going to do well. They're just going to follow what the big ones are doing. Every single thing related to AI will do great if AI continues doing great. Yeah. What else do I see? I will say, I mean, I tend to be biased to do swing analysis. So for hodling, I will say that this could be a good entry for accumulation and maybe leaving a little bit for 0.75 if things get ugly for Bitcoin. I will say I will accumulate at where we are just because it's a breakout. So if you are looking into holding and you're already convinced this is a great asset, I have no clue if this is a great asset. I will buy now with a bit of cash, and then I will average down at 75 if we dump another 25%. That could happen. And the next one that was in the question was ARV, and I forgot which one was the next one. And AVAX, sorry. Let's go to AVAX. AVAX is in a breakout. I think I covered it. It's above support. is looking quite strong, almost done with the W pattern. You see, W pattern done but rejected. So wait until it confirms the breakout. You see, people are so impatient. Like they enter at 39 and now they're getting punished. So because they're not waiting for the full W pattern to break out and to close a candle above it. So that's the point, not being above it. You need to close the candle. And this is a daily. And so people might be trading this on the 4 hour. And even people on the 4 hour are doing silly things, like the 4 hour close below it. So why would you enter here? Maybe the 1 hour traders did it. Yeah, the 1 hour trade. That's why I don't trade 1 hour. You see, on the 1 hour, you have a breakout there and they just dump on you. So stick with the 4 hour or the daily, uh, especially if you have stuff to do during the day. If you are a full-time trader, go for it. Go for 15 minutes if you want. But if you don't have time, you need to stick with lower time frames, see the big patterns, draw your levels, prepare a plan, prepare your levels of targets and things like that, and then monitor it in the comfort of your mobile when you're going home and see, oh, we reached that level. Okay, I'm gonna take the trade. It's slower pace, and it's way less going crazy. Can you take a look at Nosana? Ooh, never heard about that coin. Let's see. Guys, you need to give me the ticker. I'm lucky because I found it straight away, but sometimes I don't. NOS USDT. Let me know, guys. What do you think about the TA of this? Try to guess. What am I going to say? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. In the meantime, I'm just going to draw things, but I won't say anything. What do you think is this? Okay. And look, did you see the RSI as well? So this is what I think. It had a big parabolic move, and people are dumping, and then it's finding a new bottom. It's in the process of forming a double bottom, and it hasn't yet touched the neck, which is around 4.4, in between 4.4 to 4.8 if you want to play conservative. That's your range for the neck, and it hasn't broken out. It could give another big exponential move. Wow, that's crazy. So it pumped how much? Mental, 18,000%. Yeah, that's just crazy. But it's also down. It went down 64%. So let's see. No, let's leave it like that. So I think it's an accumulation. I wouldn't buy it below the neck. It's up to you if you want to take that risk. I think the risk gets lower as you close daily above 4.4 to 4.8 for a re-entry and a potential second impulsive move. So if you believe in the in the impulsive moves in multiple steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the stuff. Fibonacci regression could also tell you that this is probably in the golden pocket. Just by eye, I think this is in the golden pocket. So if it breaks from there, it will be ready for continuation. Great find, by the way. It looks technically, like a great opportunity for massive gains. Next coin. Nosana, we review it. Great insights as always. Thanks. MicroStrategy. Yeah, believe it or not, yesterday I was checking my stocks and I was thinking to invest in MicroStrategy, but actually I don't want to be over invested in crypto. So I try to keep some investments in stocks that I try to not invest too much in technology, just because that side of crypto is overexposing me with tech. So if there's a big crash that affects tech, and I also have tech in my stocks, everything is tech, so it's not great. And where do you think we are in the cycle right now, and when do you expect us to go? So to be fully honest, I'm expecting that pullback. Um, this market has been really difficult. Although I sold 73 just because I was just sick of seeing that all technicals were not respected, and at some point I say, even if the technicals are not being respected, I'm gonna sell 73 just because 99.9% of the people are in profit. What is going on with Bitcoin? This is must be a manipulation. Uh, but I'm expecting that there has to be a cool down. The weekly is looking that the momentum is going down. It can push higher, sure, but I still see that momentum going a little bit lower and cooling down. Um, some people think that it's just gonna go straight to 100K from here. I think I'm hoping that that doesn't happen, because that's gonna make this cycle extremely awkward and extremely short-lived. I think there's a lot more fun if now we retrace to 51.48 and we remain there for 6 months. That's going to build a structure that is much more sustainable for another peak in the market. And then we're going to have something like 2013, that we have two peaks, and we have an opportunity to get rid of all people and then re-enter and have like two cycles in one, two tops, one followed by the other one. And that will be amazing. On 2021, we didn't get that because of COVID. COVID stole the first peak. COVID broke the blow of top. So hopefully we get a blow of top, but hopefully that blow of top is on the second peak, and this one is just a trap, hopefully, and it goes to 48, stays there, holds there, goes sideways, goes extremely boring, and eventually there's money printing machine restarting heavily. We see China already printing, but the um, the Fed, the balance sheet, now selling and doing a breakout from that bearish flag I showed earlier in the video. It tells me that from that end, there's still not yet. From US, is still not yet. Retail is not yet ready. There's not enough printing going on. The retail is not in crypto yet. So I'm expecting to see that boring time there and then continuation up. Uh, close to breakout. Close to breakout. Are you talking Karma? Are you talking about the current price action? I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you mean about close to breakout. What do you think about Ondo, Aich, Solidus, and Airdrome? Oh God, I don't know any of those coins. I'm sorry. I can have a quick look at the TA. I reviewed it quite a while ago, and I say it was going to break out below here just because this was looking bearish, but eventually broke below. It lost the level, but it was just a fake out, and it's going up. So it's still in this move, and it's doing lower lows, but this could be considered like a bullish flag. Okay, so it could do a little bit more of either it's going to break out here, or is going to continue doing this flag until it breaks out. Be very careful. I drew the flag terrible. I think it should be more like this, because it's got that close there, and there's this level there. So it's like a flag. It looks bullish, to be honest. Yes, it looks bullish. And the target to the upside, if you get that breakout, it could be something like this, you know. Let's see that target, 1.22. So yeah, that's an upside of 53% if it plays out. Yeah. I'm not gonna review all these coins, but I want to see if I'm missing someone else. Don't want to leave too many people waiting. XRP, I think we cover XRP. XRP building that W pattern but getting rejected. So that was covered earlier. Let's cover Kubik. I never heard about this. You guys know so many coins. I mean, you tell me, how can you do TA of this? Just crazy. Yeah, forming the usual bearish thing, then breaking down and then coming back above it. It's too difficult to TA this. It's got too many weirdness going on. Let's put it like this, and let's say that is currently breaking out on the daily. It has been that happened on the 3rd of May, and it's retesting and it's holding. So there's a potential for this to go higher from here. Unfortunately, my all my indicators are broken because there's not enough history. So I have to go to the traditional RSI, and that's your breakout. And yeah, and it's holding there. So that's a bull flag on the RSI. So that could do a move like that. Hopefully, you know, there's a chance that it could do that. XRP is covered. 48K will be amazing, but we'd be ready to sell and buy back. How are you intended to deal with your Ethereum? No, my Ethereum is I'm planning to use it for the end of the bull market. So I want to see it going way above the all-time high. And I mean, I will start thinking to take profits at 6,000 and take some profits there, 5,000, 6,000, and finally I won't hold about 7, 8 if we get there. You know, um, yeah, that's what I'm expecting for Ethereum. For Bitcoin, I think it's likely that we can get to 100K, but it's subject to how the cycle plays out. This blow of top right now is not healthy. I think we need to get that time of boredness for 6 months or 9, maybe. All right, guys, this has been extremely long stream, over an hour. I really appreciate. We have 150 people watching. That's incredible, incredible. Thanks so much for all the comments, all the likes. If you haven't hit the like, hit the like. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitter, do me a favor and go to YouTube to the live stream. I left the link in my last tweet. Just go there, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And that really helps me, and it keeps me motivated to keep doing this. If you find any value, just go for it. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for all the noise. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. And watch the video about the indicator. Remember, there's going to be free VIP subscription in my next video about the ADV oscillator linear regressions breakouts. It's a new indicator for VIP, but you can get the VIP for free if you watch the video and you participate in the giveaway later today.